Good morning, Jets Nation. Welcome on in to a Jets Media live stream brought to you by Prize Picks on this Tuesday, April 14th. A week from today, I will be on the road to Pittsburgh to give you guys my coverage of the 2026 NFL Draft. And in this live stream, we're going to be breaking down all the latest news. Daniel Jeremiah has a huge prediction in his mock draft we're going to have to talk about. What is the perfect mock for the Jets? Is the David Bailey smoke real? I mean, I understand Jets fans are sick and tired of the speculation and all that, and we're just ready for the draft. But hey, we got to stay entertained. We got to talk to each other. We got to be there for one another during this time of the NFL draft being right around the corner. So do me a favor, folks, hit the thumbs up button on your way into the show and shout yourself out in the live chat, as I love seeing you guys coming on in. We got Theo in the house. He's coming to start off with the JETS, baby. Linda's in the house. We got Noah, Eric. Let's go. Nicholas as well. Appreciate everybody who is tuning in on YouTube, on X, on Facebook, on Twitch even. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for the boy as we are just getting started here on Jets Media. Now, I have seen a lot of rumors, and it's really hard to kind of narrow it down to what's actually going to happen. And I'm getting warmed up to some real possibilities here. I'm getting some very interesting information that I am excited to share with you guys about, where the Jets could go in this draft. Is the trade scenario legit? Could they go up there and make a trade? Could they trade back from 2? There's interested teams in trading up. Teams are wanting to trade down. Woo! It's going to be interesting, man. And I'm excited to be there in Pittsburgh for the live reaction. You guys going to tune into the live watch party on Jets Media and Roundtable Sports from Pittsburgh on the channel or what? Let me know. Let me know right now in the chat how you're all feeling. Woo! Let's get it started. I'm excited, man. I'm absolutely fired up. Every day that moves on, it just gets me closer and closer. And isn't it awesome that football season just feels like it's year round? It's year round. It's freaking awesome, man. I absolutely love it. We have someone on Twitch coming on in. Ambrose, hey, buddy, I really love your stream. So I give you a follow. Thank you. I appreciate that. We have some people on Twitch coming in. Look at that. Shout out to the people tuning in on Twitch. I don't even know if these are real people or not going to lie. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys are talking about in the chat. I thought we were going to get Wicks. Let's trade for BTJ. Yeah, Wicks is going to Philadelphia, not the Jets. So I thought that was an interesting little switcheroo, if you'd call it that. A little switcheroo. Whoa. Zoom out. Watch out. We're zooming out a little bit, getting more of the frame. Why not? All right. So we're going to get into the first topic of the show. It's a good one. Reese train. Choo-choo. Man, is the Arvell Reese smoke real? Is the David Bailey thing real? Man, oh man, we got a lot of speculation going on, folks. And I think that the more I really dig deep into this, man, the more it's like you want to believe that you don't know what to expect, but then another part of you is like, yeah, well, you got to expect the unexpected. But we'll see. We'll see. There's a massive report that we have to talk about, folks. Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock draft has the New York Jets doing something absolutely crazy that I'm on board. I am on board. I'm just going to spoil it right here and tell you guys off the jump that if the Jets pulled off what Daniel Jeremiah had in his mock draft, I'm going to be a happy camper because it's filled with aggression and then is going all in basically in the 2026 NFL draft. I think that the New York Jets should absolutely consider doing this, if it's possible, of course. We're going to break down what Daniel Jeremiah had to say. Is this the dream scenario? It may be my dream scenario, that's for sure. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you would want the New York Jets to pull this off. Welcome on into Jets Media, folks, brought to you by Prize Picks. Now, if you missed what Daniel Jeremiah had in his latest mock draft, spoiler alert, he has the Jets making a trade in the first round. And if you have not seen it yet, then I will, of course, share with you all exactly what Daniel Jeremiah had with the New York Jets. At pick number 2, that's not where the trade happened. He traded up from 16 and fired me up when I saw that, because I've been thinking of this as a hypothetical scenario for weeks, and to see Daniel Jeremiah pull it off really makes me wonder, is this a legit possibility? So let's get into what Daniel Jeremiah had to say. But before we get into that, I do want to let you guys know that I'll be in Pittsburgh, if you did not know already. I'm going to be there live throughout the entire event on Jets Media, on Roundtable Sports. We're going to be media credentialed, which is going to be sick. Hopefully I can interview some of these prospects that get drafted by the Jets. Arvell, Reese, and David Bailey are both going to be in attendance in Pittsburgh, so maybe I can get an interview with them. For example, Armand Membu was not in Green Bay last year for the draft, so when I was there, I was unable to interview the guy the Jets drafted, but that's pretty exciting. And when it comes to the Jets' overall energy in terms of outside of the building of the New York Jets, it feels like a lot of speculation is starting to heat up right now about the Jets being aggressive. So let's just go right to it and talk about where Daniel Jeremiah has the New York Jets going. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right away where he has the Jets going at pick number 2 is David Bailey. Shocker. Now, is that smoke real? We'll talk about that eventually in the video, of course, because Daniel Jeremiah has David Bailey going to the Jets. Feels like everybody does. He's not alone. Feels like every single mock draft now, all of a sudden, David Bailey's now the favorite. Everyone has him going to the Jets. Not really shocking at this point anymore. But let's get into what he's doing with the Jets at pick 16, which is extremely interesting. So take a listen, folks.
Now in your mock draft at 7, Jeremiah Love is sitting out there. The Washington Commanders are sitting there at 7. Commanders fans are dreaming of seeing that Notre Dame Dynamo standing next to Jaden Daniels in every single offensive set. But you have the first surprising trade of the draft happening right here in the mock draft. The floor is yours.
Yeah, this is about an opportunity here for the New York Jets to move up, to be aggressive in this draft. They are loaded with picks in this year and next year. And when you look at the cost for them to go from 16 to 7, you're talking about their second round pick, a 4th round pick, and their 16th overall pick. So it's not that big of an ask. And a Washington team that needs some more picks, they're a little light, they don't have a 2nd round pick. So they slide back. The Jets come back up. They've already got David Bailey, and now they add Carnell Tate to team up with a fellow Ohio State Buckeye here.
Yeah. Fire me up, Daniel Jeremiah. You kidding me? How did he know how to fire me up like that? How did he know? Now, if you guys have been watching the show, I literally made a video about this topic on Bleacher Report yesterday because Daniel Jeremiah came out with this mock. And I am just absolutely, totally on board with this. Are you guys on board with this? Would you want the New York Jets to pull this off? Let me know right now in the comments. Are you trading pick 16? Are you trading pick 44? And I think even in this hypothetical, he has the Jets trading away a 4th round pick to get up there to 7 to land Ohio State wide receiver Carnell Tate. Now, some people are not looking at Carnell Tate as this generational wide receiver. Why would you trade up into the top 10 for him? He's not really worth it. The Jets don't even need a number 1 receiver. We got a number 1 receiver. His name is Mr. Garrett Wilson. But you want to talk about a complete difference maker at the wide receiver position. Alongside Garrett Wilson and Adonai Mitchell, Carnell Tate fits the bill of exactly what this Jets football team needs, in my opinion, to complement those guys. And also, the fact that the Jets got the ammunition to pull this off, it's not like we're sacrificing a lot of capital. Garrett Wilson went to Ohio State, as we know. We know what Ohio State breeds at wide receiver. And Garrett Wilson also has been very open about wanting Carnell Tate. So you make Garrett Wilson happy, number 1. And you're sacrificing a pick in the 2nd round and a 4th round pick to move up back into the top 10. You're coming away with David Bailey and Carnell Tate, and you still got the 33rd overall pick, which, by the way, if I'm the Jets, I trade 33 back, move back some slots, get an extra third or another fourth, and then you're still coming away with the same, another pick. The Jets got to get really creative in this draft, and this is exactly how you get creative. I know this is risky. I know some people do not think that the Jets really are in the business to be aggressive like this, but I completely disagree. The Jets were completely silent and quiet this offseason at the wide receiver and the playmaking position in general. The Jets have not added one single new playmaker this offseason. Let that sink in. Not one. Not one wide receiver, not one tight end, not one running back. The only thing they've done is franchise tag Breece Hall. So with that in mind, yeah, go after him. And I'm going to explain why exactly the Jets need to do that. All right? I am about to do that. So stay tuned because we got a lot that we need to talk about here on Jets Media. No doubt about it. All right? Before we go any further in today's video, I got to let you guys know about a proud sponsor of Jets Media, Prize Picks, folks. The number one American Prize Picks app. It's the Pick'ems, folks. You guys can go over to Prize Picks and use the code HMA, and you will get $50 instantly when you use the code HMA. That link is at the top of the description, folks, right here on this video. So go check them out. You guys can bet more or less on all of the NFL players. You can predict their stats. Now, when it comes to the NFL season, it's going to be a lot of fun talking about these lineups because you can bet more or less on certain games, build a sick parlay. NBA playoffs is here this week. We have NHL playoffs, of course. MLB is fully underway. So they got everything you could possibly imagine at the top. But, of course, we got to talk about these NFL bets. The only Jet that currently is available is Garrett Wilson that we've talked about before. And I just am still shocked that his line is this low, 1,025 receiving yards. I mean, I'm betting the more on that, no doubt about it. But honestly, if I'm going to bet either yards or touchdowns, I'm pretty sure his touchdown total is just 5. So it's pretty low in my eyes. The only thing that's holding that back is an injury, which hopefully he will not get injured again this year. And even Jalen Waddle's number at 850 with the Broncos, I think is low. Like, they got really interesting odds here. So if you guys want to go check it out on Prize Picks, definitely consider it. A great way to support the channel here on Jets Media. It's not only by hitting the like button, not only by subscribing and commenting, it's also supporting the proud sponsors of the channel, and that just so happens to be Prize Picks. So a huge shout out goes to our friends over at Prize Picks. Now, getting into detail about this risk of the New York Jets going after Mr. Carnell Tate. I know a lot of people feel like, well, Richie, they can go after another wide receiver. They can stay put at 16, draft an Omar Cooper Jr., who they had a top 30 visit with. They can wait and hope that Jordan Tyson falls to them at 16, or maybe Makai Lemon falls to them at 16. But I just feel like, man, I understand the Jets got a lot of holes on this roster, but I feel like they've filled a lot of their holes, in my opinion, in the offseason, in free agency, more specifically on defense. There was holes everywhere on this defense heading into the offseason, but Darren Mougey and Aaron Glenn was extremely active, signing a bunch of new players on defense, filling out the safety room, the corner room, the linebacker room, the edge rusher room, the defensive tackle room. I mean, every single level of the defense got new players, and there's going to be new players on defense. But that offensive, ability around Geno Smith, the only two new guys on offense is the quarterback and a left guard. No new, like we mentioned, no new tight end, no new wide receiver or anything. So would you rather just sit back and like, all right, we'll take whatever we get, or you love this guy, Carnell Tate, go after that, go all in for this guy? That's how I'm looking at it, man. I mean, I may be a little bit different than most, but I genuinely believe that I have one of those feelings that you look at what Carnell Tate is capable of, and he is absolutely better than some people are saying. Some people do not believe he's an all-time great, like, potential. Like, he doesn't have the ability to be great. He's not generational. He's not, I don't know what people are saying about that, but I disagree. I mean, he's got the vertical ability. He's got the route running. He's got the strong hands. He's got literally everything. He's got absolutely everything you want in a wide receiver, especially when you compliment him. You're not putting the pressure on him to be a number one receiver. He's going to be next to Garrett Wilson, where everyone's going to be double teaming GW. I mean, look at the route running, and his football IQ, I think, is through the roof. And I think his down the field ability to track the ball is off the charts. And just look at the history of Ohio State wide receivers. I remember I was the one that was begging the Jets to draft JSN at pick 15. I was the one saying the Jets should do it. That was the year you had Aaron Rodgers. Go get Aaron Rodgers a weapon next to Garrett Wilson. JSN was on the clock, man. He was on the board when the Jets were on the clock at 15. But they draft literally Will McDonald. Will McDonald's not a bum or a bust, but I think we can all look back at that draft and say, yeah, the Jets should have drafted JSN. So you have another opportunity to do this. Get Ohio State wide receivers on this football team. Geno Smith will be happy. The offense will be happy. Everybody will be happy, basically. So I'm all in on it. Do you guys agree with it or not? In this mock draft, Daniel Jeremiah has the Jets going with David Bailey at 2, trading up to pick 7 for Carnell Tate. I genuinely believe that there is a world where this is a possibility. You trade pick 44 and a 4th-round pick and 16. You move up to pick 7. It's a big jump, but you're saying to this fan base, and you're utilizing your assets. And that's the big thing I want Jets fans to realize. The Jets got all this ammunition. They got to utilize them in the trade market. They got to utilize that in the trade market. That's how you make a splash. I'm not saying it's going to be the end all be all. If the Jets don't do it, I'm going to be upset. But man, I'll be fired up if the Jets are able to pull this off. Let me know where you stand in the comments. Are you willing to sacrifice some of that capital in day 2 and 3 to move up for a guy like Carnell Tate, to pair him up with Garrett Wilson? Or do you think it's too risky? Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. I know some other people are saying, well, the Jets can just draft Carnell Tate at pick 2 or trade back from 2 and draft him there. I'd rather get a David Bailey and an Arvell Reese and a Carnell Tate. That's how I think about it. Let me know where you stand in the comments, and let's go Jets. Will they actually use him? They got to use him. I mean, we got a new offense. We got a new offensive firepower now with Frank Reich more than anything. I trust him. I do trust him. I don't think it'll happen. It is risky, and it's not that. I mean, it's a. What am I trying to say? It's not like it's guaranteed going to happen. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, folks. And don't forget right now to hit that thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button if you guys are enjoying the show here on Jets Media. Cheers to everybody right now, wherever you're tuning in from. Let me know right now, chat. Where are you tuning in from? Are you at work right now? Are you at home? Are you on a walk? Are you on the train? Are you commuting? Are you driving? Where are you? I met a lot of you guys over the weekend at the Badlands, and I saw a lot of people come up to me and like, Richie, I got you on every single morning at work. And that's awesome. Let me know, what exactly are you guys doing? Besides watching, of course, the show, because it's awesome. If I can get you through your work day or whatever you're doing today or whatever, just let me know right now where you stand. Oh, man. What you guys up to? If the Jets pick Carnell Tate, I'll always watch Richie's channel when football start back up again. Only if we get Tate. What if we don't? Definitely a Tate fan. Me too, man. Me too. Craig, CF Mechanics. Working. As always. Love it. Drive safe, brother. Drive safe. Please. Drive safe. Don't forget to hydrate, folks. Look at this new cup I got. Isn't this trippy? Whoa. Don't forget to hydrate. And don't forget your coffee. Home just had spinal fusion. Well, Eddie, I hope you're feeling better. I hope you are feeling better, my friend. AZ drivers aren't the best. I did notice that when I was over in Arizona. I'm not going to lie. Working hard for the money. Richie fan all day. Derek, my man. I appreciate you, bro. Got to work hard for the money. That's what it's about. That's what it's about, man. Let's go. Richie, I'm watching you from work. Well, thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. Folks, yet again, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, share this with your family members. We got 37 like buttons. Smash. We can do way better than that. Come on, chat. I believe in you. I believe in you. Let's go. Let's go. All right, chat. I have a feeling that this next segment's going to be an interesting one. Let's go. The real reason why the New York Jets are linked to David Bailey at pick number 2 has been revealed, and I'm going to let you guys know about it right here, right now on Jets Media, presented by Prize Picks. Now, there has been a lot of buzz, a lot of people around the NFL world. Every mock draft you look at, David Bailey at 2 to the Jets, David Bailey at pick 2. But for weeks and weeks and months even, it's been Arvell Reese. But now all of a sudden, it's David Bailey. Why? Why are people linking him to the New York Jets? And I have to dig deep into this because I polled a lot of Jets fans, and it still feels like Jets fans want Arvell Reese over David Bailey. The majority. I'm not saying every single one. You know, when I was at the event over the weekend with a lot of Jets fans, I was talking to a lot of them, and everyone was more saying Arvell Reese more than anybody else. So I have a feeling there's two ways to look at this. Is this a consensus of people assuming what the Jets are going to do on the outside, or do they know something? Because if it's just assumption, say it's all these draft analysts looking at the Jets and like, well, if I was the Jets, I would do this. Or is it, no, I know that the Jets are going to do this, right? Those are two different things. The one thing about this Jets regime that I've respected a lot is that they know how to not have leaks. They do not let people, tell people what they're doing. So that's why I'm a little skeptical right now. I'm a little skeptical, but there's a lot of reasons. And I think that, I want to go into some of these articles and some of these insiders to kind of reveal why exactly is it David Bailey at 2. What about David Bailey does it feel like he's going to be the guy at pick number 2? Now, there's a lot of reasons to like David Bailey. There is. I mean, he could be a difference maker on this defense. He could be the guy that can get that third and long game-clinching sack when the Jets have a lead late in the fourth quarter. He can be that guy off the edge with Will McDonald. Like if the Jets, for example, pick up Will McDonald's fifth-year option, which is what they're expected to do, and they extend Will, for example, or even if they pick up his fifth-year option, you have Will for at least 2 years minimum. You have Will McDonald and David Bailey off the edge together with Joseph Asai for the next 2-3 years with more capital next year. That's a pretty young, dynamic edge rusher group. Now, you're letting go of Jermaine Johnson, of course, because he's now in the Titans, but you can sell me on it. But I still lean more towards Arvell Reese. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but we got to convince ourselves that David Bailey could be a guy because the smoke may be real. So hit that thumbs up button, folks, if you're joining the show here on Jets Media. Let's get into the video. Albert Breer's takeaways, the prospect who makes sense for the Jets at pick number 2. So let's get into what his thoughts of this is right here on Sports Illustrated. Examining New York's options with the second pick plus why teams with picks 3 through 7 are looking to move down and much more. So there's a big report that came out basically saying that a lot of teams behind the Jets are trying to move down. But the Jets are also one of those teams that are trying to move down, that it's confirmed from Connor Hughes. So I know this is making it seem like the Jets are taking Bailey and everybody else wants to move down. No, the Jets are another team that is open of moving down from pick 2. And I know that for certain, all right? So there is a reason why a consensus seems to be crystallizing that Texas Tech edge rusher David Bailey will be the second pick in the draft. For a while now, we have been operating under the presumption that the Raiders are going to select Fernando Mendoza off the board. And to be clear, the idea that Bailey will be a Jet isn't exactly a fate. See what I mean? But a lot of things are lining up, and the main one to me is the spot the Jets are in. Ownership had a heavy hand in head coach Aaron Glenn blowing up his first coaching staff and doing it in phases. First, firing defensive coordinator Steve Wilks on December 15th, then 6 lower-level assistants on January 23rd. That's when I was at the Senior Bowl. Crazy day. The then offensive coordinator Tanner Engstrand on January 27th. And then after that, the Jets went down the road with experienced defensive coordinator Wink Martindale and a list of other candidates they announced as interviews before pulling back on the premise they were paying Wilks around $3 million not to coach in 2026. And with that, with an off-list candidate. Then that left Glenn as the defensive play caller, new offensive coordinator as the offensive play caller, and the entire staff. All right, so this is all stuff we know, of course. Under a lot of pressure, it's clear the late 2025 rumblings that owner Woody Johnson was not happy with the state of the team. It will only get louder if the Jets stumble out of the gate in 2026. At the same time, despite the tumult and roster that was stripped of most of its best players from 2024 and a 5-game losing skid that ended a 3-14 season capped by a blowout loss to the Bills' backups, Glenn never lost his team. And given that everything else included high-profile in-season trades of stars Sauce Quinnen, it's pretty remarkable that the first-year head coach really pulled that off. The trouble here is twofold. One, ownership has already flashed impatience, and at some point the coaches must have proof of concept in what they're trying to build. So this is really highlighting how much control does Woody Johnson really have? Is he giving Aaron Glenn the full leash to do what he wants to do? Or is Woody Johnson getting in the way? And I think that's really what this is talking about. That, to me, is where the decision on the second pick comes. Having dealt away Williams and Jermaine Johnson and emptied out their deep rush of pass rushers that Robert Saleh had assembled, the Jets were among the worst team in football last year at getting to the quarterback. For that reason, it makes sense that Bailey and Ohio State's Reese will be the two guys discussed for the pick 2. All of the above is why Bailey makes more sense for the Jets than Reese. So, why exactly does he say Bailey makes more sense? Because he's quote-unquote safer, he's more polished. That's what the scouts are saying. Yes, the Jets are set up to build with an eye on the long term, but they have 5 firsts in the next 2 drafts, 4 in the top 44 this year, and a stopgap in Geno Smith at quarterback. But they need results now. That does not mean they need to win 11 or 12 games this year. It does mean they need to create light at the end of the tunnel. They need that for the owner and to give the locker room reasons to keep grinding along. Sigh. This is no affront to Reese, but of the two, Bailey is clearly that guy. Where with Reese, you must have a plan to use and develop him at a position of great ability but not much experience at. There's not a lot of that with Bailey. His ceiling isn't high as Reese's, but no one has to close their eyes and conjure up a vision of what he'll do as a pro. So that's a big debate between Reese and Bailey. Just to pause there. You know, when you draft David Bailey, you can just plug and play. You draft Reese, you got to get creative. You got to figure out a role. Where are we going to utilize this guy? He's like a chess piece, which isn't a negative. I mean, if you have a really good defensive mind, like we should have in Aaron Glenn, you should be very excited to use a piece like that. So it's kind of like, can the Jets weigh risk and reward type of situation? Do you want to go the safer route, or do you want to go with the high upside? I'm at this point, man, take a swing at upside, bro. Take a swing at upside. Before we go any further, want to give a huge shout out to Prize Picks. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring the show, as always. Now, going back into the article, which with Reese is precisely what you need to do. Quote, he's maybe as physically gifted as anyone in the draft, said one executive of Reese. It's time on task. He's never spent on time at one spot. Off the ball, he's got a ton of ability. He can rush the passer, and that's probably where his greatest value is. You won't have to have a vision for the guy. In other words, it might take time, and time is at a premium for Glenn and his staff. Bailey's the guy who will help you right now, help you get the defensive system off the ground immediately. So it's basically what I just said. So that's interesting about that. And then we're going to talk about the teams that could be trading up for that pick at 2. But let me just go back a little bit. on what was just revealed here. My biggest problem with what I just read is that there needs to be patience from Woody Johnson, man. I mean, if I got patience. I got patience, man. I don't know about you guys, but if we continue to have this cycle where Woody Johnson hires someone, especially with inexperience like Glenn and Mougey, and expects things to get flipped around immediately in a year or two, he's mistaken himself. Sometimes it takes other organizations time to build. Not everybody can do what the Patriots did, where you bring in an experienced Mike Vrabel and you have a franchise quarterback already there, and they can go to the Super Bowl in year one together. Or, year one with Liam Cohen with the Jaguars, he goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence is there, and they're able to have success right away. Or Ben Johnson goes to the Bears, where there's a quarterback already there, and they can have success in year number one. The Jets is a different animal. Aaron Glenn did not come to the Jets and had a young quarterback to work with, like the Patriots did with Drake May, like the Jaguars did with Trevor Lawrence, like the Bears did with Caleb Williams, which is why when I bring that up and everyone's like, oh, how come those coaches had success in year one? Why can't Glenn do the same? Well, what quarterback are you giving Glenn to work with? Well, now he's got the veteran in Geno Smith, and you got to allow, if Woody Johnson just keeps being this owner that's impatient and wants to blow it up before anything actually comes to fruition, we're going to be stuck in this cycle forever. Not to scare you guys away, but it's true. Which teams could trade up? Teams picking behind the Jets are looking to move down. Now, the thing about this is the Jets are also looking to move down, just by the way. One is Reese, assuming Bailey is off the board at 2. His value from teams differ. So I'm not going to go deep into this, but there's a big chance that the Jets could trade down from 2, but I also think that teams are looking at that third pick more because it's going to be cheaper for them, and they can get one of Bailey or Reese. Pick your poison. It's going to be based off of what the Jets decide to do at pick 2. So a lot of interesting discussions here about what the Jets are going to do, but seems like David Bailey, the consensus of why people are linking him to the Jets is more like the Jets can't take a risk. They need to go safe. I don't know, man. I understand that philosophy. You need someone that's going to be an impactful piece right away, but Arvell Reese just brings that blue chip star potential that I think this Jets football team desperately needs on defense. That's where I stand. Let me know where you stand in the comments. Hit that thumbs up button, and let's go Jets. We got a super chat from 6 Rings. Appreciate you, bro. You said for 700 tickets in New England, I got 400. You said $700 tickets in New England. I got VIP 400. Yeah, I was talking about group events. So when we're researching the Patriots for a AFC East Roundtable event, they quoted us like $400, like $500 or $600 for like a group event, not individual VIP. So that's what I was referring to. That's what you're asking. Yeah. So that's all good. We're actually in a good year to take a risk. I agree. Everyone's making this like, and that's my point. Everyone's making it seem like the Jets have to win this year, otherwise we're screwed. Like, I get it. There needs to be improvement, but this is not an all-in win season, like Super Bowl or bust type of reason, you know? That's why I feel like it's all smoke, man. Folks, smash that thumbs up button if you did not already. I'll be right back. But don't you guys go anywhere. I'll be back in like 1 minute. Not even. be back. See? Woo! How many people did we lose? All you guys or what? Any questions in the chat? Let me know. Feels good to be live every day with y'all. It's been a minute. Let's go. All right, what's on the docket next? What's on the docket next? I think that there's a lot of interesting reasons why people are wanting one thing over the other, but I don't know. Like, I'm looking at all these mock drafts coming out here by other interesting analysts, and it just really is interesting to me. Reese definitely wants out. Where did that come from? According to who? According to who? All right. What exactly is the New York Jets' dream draft for you? Let me know right now in the comments if you could be someone that wishes exactly what you want and it's going to happen. Who'd the Jets get at 2, 16, 33, 44, maybe even add a trade? Let me know right now in the chat, in the comment section, what that perfect draft scenario is for you. Right now, I want to align myself with the perfect draft scenario. There's a lot of different scenarios that you can go with because the Jets got all these assets. They got all these picks. You can just pick your poison. You can go here at 2. You can go there at 16. You can trade up, trade down. You can do so many different things. It's absolutely ridiculous. It makes my head spin. But I'm excited to give you guys my thoughts of where I think the Jets could be going, go into their needs, and where this plan could go. Shout out to everybody tuning in right here on Jets Media, presented by Prize Picks. Let's get into it. Now, before we go into all that, I want to share this article from Rich Cimini of ESPN that kind of highlights the latest news and the latest, biggest needs that the Jets have and all that fun stuff. This is always something that you want to look into, is what Rich is hearing of this Jets football team. I think that it's pretty interesting to hear from Rich Cimini at this time of the year because it's a big, big offseason for the Jets. Let's just keep it a buck, man. It's a big offseason for the Jets for a lot of reasons, and I think that when you look at what the Jets are doing this offseason with all of their capital, I think that there's a big opportunity for them to hit an absolute grand slam of a home run. A grand slam of a home run. Will it happen? Only time will tell. Now, going into the article, let's see what Rich has to say. Florham Park, New Jersey, the 2026 draft is at 8 o'clock on April 23rd. I will be there, which is going to be really exciting. The Jets are scheduled to make 9 of the draft's 257 picks, starting with the second pick, baby. Ooh, I'm fired up. During the 3-day event, rounds 2 and 3. All right, we know when that is going to be the case. Look at all these draft picks the Jets have. They have 9 draft picks to play with. I think they're going to be able to use these picks to trade up. I think they're going to use these picks to trade down. Having 2 picks in the 4th round gives them flexibility to move back up into the 3rd round if they wanted to, since they do not have a 3rd round pick technically. They don't have a 6th round pick either. So I think that at the end of the day, the Jets are going to leave this draft with probably less than 9 total players drafted. I think they're going to come away with 8 after they trade up a few times. And I think maybe trading down is in the cards as well to get picks in the 2027 class is definitely something that the New York Jets are going to be considering. Now, the top 3 needs, according to Rich, is wide receiver, quarterback, and edge. So I find that extremely interesting. What are the 3 guys they're going to draft at this position? Because the Ty Simpson buzz has been kind of slowed down a little bit, and I find that interesting. The bulk of free agency was devoted to defense. Now it's time to get a playmaker to complement wide receiver Garrett Wilson. The receivers not named Wilson have combined for only 2 career touchdowns, both Adonai Mitchell, both by him. The low-cost acquisition of Geno provides a band-aid at quarterback, but the Jets need to add a young arm to the mix. They could add a developmental quarterback on day 3, waiting until 2027 to make the big splash. When they have 3 first-round picks, boy, 3 first-round picks in 27 still blows my mind. They signed Joseph Asai to replace Jermaine Johnson on the edge, but there's still a glaring need for a speed rusher opposite of Will. Fill in the blank, the Jets will draft the quarterback. Now, Drew Aller is the guy I genuinely think is my dream scenario for the Jets. I would love to get Drew Aller with the 4th-round pick at pick 103. I think that if he's available at pick 103, that's my dream. Now, the dream scenario for me for the Jets is basically, and there's a lot of different scenarios I can go down this route, but my dream scenario is Arvell Reese at 2, packaging pick 16 and 44 to go back up to get Carnell Tate. That's a splash, but I know that's unrealistic, so I'm going to make this one a little bit more realistic here. If Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver from Arizona State, if he is on the board when the Jets are on the clock at pick 16, that's my dream. I need one of these top receivers. And I know some people are saying, what about Mekhi Lemon? I don't really see him being available. Jordan Tyson is the guy I would absolutely be all in on at pick 16 for the New York Jets. Some people are saying, what about Kenyon Sadiq? We've talked about that. I don't think the Jets are going to go that direction. I also don't think Kenyon Sadiq is going to be available at pick 16. But I think there is a world where this guy is available at pick 16 for the New York Jets. Let me know right now in the chat. Would you want the New York Jets to consider drafting Jordan Tyson at pick 16? So my perfect mock is going to be Arvell Reese, going to be there at 2, which a lot of the smoke has the Jets going David Bailey. And again, I'm not upset if they go that direction whatsoever. But I do think that there is a big possibility of Arvell Reese still, even though everyone's saying that it's going to be David Bailey. So give me Arvell Reese at 2, and then if Jordan Tyson is available, I think it's an absolute no-brainer. And I'll even show you guys right now this mock draft that I was working on. You know, we took Arvell Reese at pick 2, and the way that the board fell, you have Jordan Tyson available and Mekhi Lemon. I think it's more realistic that Tyson will be there over Lemon, so I'm going to take Jordan Tyson here. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see. But before we get into the 2nd-round picks, just want to give a huge shout-out to Prize Picks. Now, some people are saying that you can go Vega here, the guard, to replace AVT / John Simpson, but we got our guard at right now in the free agency from the Raiders, Dylan. So I don't see that happening, but you never know. So I'm going to draft Jordan Tyson here at pick 16. Now, in this scenario, we're not making much trades, but I think there is one guy that I would absolutely be on board with of drafting in the 2nd round. Now, some people are saying if Ty Simpson's there in the 2nd round, you should definitely pull the trigger. You know, Jacob Rodriguez at linebacker would be crazy, but I don't think the Jets are going to go that direction. My dream scenario, and don't be shocked if the Jets go this direction, double dipping in the secondary. Yeah, I said it. Double dip in the secondary. Some people will be like, well, the Jets got to go all in on offense, man. Where's the offensive players? I think getting Colton Hood at the top of the 33 or even trading down from this scenario will be big, but Colton Hood is an absolute stud. He's a first-round talent, by the way, in my eyes. First-round talent, dropping into the 2nd round. You need to add pieces to the secondary. I'd be all down for Colton Hood at that spot. Now, we already got our wide receiver at the top of the first round, but Chris Bell is a guy to not rule out for the Jets to target in the second round if they do not go wide receiver at pick in the first round. He's someone that the Jets are linked to. They're doing a lot of homework on him. If he did not tear his ACL, he'd probably be a first-round talent, but that's not the case. Okay? Another guy to watch, and I know this will also be someone that Jets fans may not be down for, but A.J. Halsey, if you want to get a playmaker that can get the ball, create turnovers, it's A.J. Halsey at safety. Someone that can absolutely learn from Minkah Fitzpatrick and be that long-term piece next to him. I know that we have a lot of pieces now on the safety position. Malachi Moore, Dane Belton, you re-signed Andre Sisco. It's kind of a crowded room right now, but don't be sleeping on A.J. Halsey. Chris Johnson is another guy I personally like a lot. I saw him at the Senior Bowl. I liked him a lot there. I interviewed him. He's a cool kid. He's someone that has a high football IQ, sticky man coverage, but in this scenario, I did get Colton Hood. So where would you guys go in the second round? Like a big part of me wants to go double dipping and really revamp the secondary, getting a corner and a safety in the second round, and now you're adding like real juice, real playmakers to that position. Another part of me thinks that you can go offense and double dip. Could the Jets double dip at wide receiver? What if they go Jordan Tyson and Chris Bell? Is that too much? Maybe. But I feel like that's something that would be on the table. I know a lot of people are saying Zion Young is an option for the Jets as well in the second round. Now, I feel like going after Zion Young at this high wouldn't be after getting a David Bailey or Reese, do you really need to go Zion Young? But the big question here is, are the Jets going to consider drafting a quarterback at pick 44? Ty Simpson most likely will not be there. But Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Aller, Carson Beck. What if the Jets draft Drew Aller at pick 44? I'm just saying. It's not guaranteed that Drew Aller is going to be available for the Jets in the fourth round. They would have to trade up for him. So I do think the Jets are going to draft a quarterback. I think it's going to be Drew Aller out of anybody else. So only time will tell. But a perfect draft scenario for me is going after a guy double dipping in the secondary, getting turnovers, A.J. Halsey, and Colton Hood in the second round. I'm just doing a quick 2-round mock draft for my perfect scenario. I know they're giving me a C- for A.J., but he is an absolute dog in the secondary. Sign me up. And then if you can trade back up into the third round and get Drew Aller at quarterback, then we're cooking. Because if you go back to what Rich Cimini had to say about the biggest needs, wide receiver, quarterback, and edge. I got Jordan Tyson, I got Drew Aller, and I got Arvell Reese. You fit the three needs, and then you add depth to position of need. You got a new safety, you get a new corner, you revamp the secondary. Like that's a dream scenario in my eyes. Is it a dream scenario in yours? Let me know in the comments where you stand on that. In the comment section right here, right now. Hit that thumbs up button. Comment down below. Play an emoji as always. I love you guys. Let's go Jets, baby. Hennessy likes it. Halsey at 44 for sure. Chris Johnson or AJ at 44. Bell only at 44. Jets like Chris Johnson. I like Chris Johnson as well. Reese Tyson is a home run plus another receiver at 33. Guard at 44. A lot of options, man. A lot of freaking options. It's exciting. Who are our starting corners? Brandon Stevens and Azareye'h Thomas and Brownlee. And then we brought in Nashawn Wright in free agency to compete. Yeah, that's it. So they're gonna bring in a corner. I mean, you traded away Sauce. You're gonna bring in a corner in the draft. You have to. For depth purposes, for a lot of reasons. So, all right, folks. We're gonna wrap it up here. If Bailey ends 2026 as Defensive Rookie of the Year, would you sign up? Yeah. Who would not sign up for that? A Defensive Rookie of the Year. We had 2 Defensive Rookies of the Year in Sauce and Garrett Wilson. Yeah, we might go CB. Yeah, people got to warm up to that. I mean, we got Aaron Glenn as the head coach. Let's not forget, he drafted Azareye'h Thomas last year, early, 3rd round. No one saw that coming. They trade away Sauce. They're going to go after a corner earlier than you think. So keep that in mind, folks. Keep that in mind. We're going to wrap it up here. Thank you to King Jamie, Hennessy, everybody that's tuning into this show right here on Jets Media, presented by Prize Picks. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out. We got 4th and Forever coming up shortly on Roundtable Sports. We're going to be doing a Knicks media live stream as well to get ready for the Knicks playoff run. So go check me out over there. Love you guys as always. Salute to the chat. Salute to Jets Nation. I'm out of here. Peace.